also providing an opportunity for employment for young people. But what we need to do is, well, it's a very complicated situation, but let me take a stab at it in this regard. People need jobs. The opportunity to work is so very, very important, and I think that'll go a great way in solving a lot of violence. People that are engaged in employment are, in many ways, very, very different and have different goals and a different agenda. I think schools need to have studies on conflict resolution. The police need to be empowered and also have leadership from the commissioner to inspire them. We need more community patrols and patrols in the park. It is so very important. And right now, the police do not have the manpower to do any patrolling in the park. Recently, well, not that recently, but a number of years ago, I was walking in the park with my wife near dusk, and there was a fellow in there with a BB gun. By the time it was over, I said, you know what, you shouldn't be doing this. And he thought that was just delightful and actually took a shot at me, which was really ridiculous. I mean, BB gun, nobody would have gotten really hurt, but the fact is it could have been a lot of other things. Went home, called 911, but there was no active patrolling officers. We need enforcement in the parks so people can have the opportunity to use them. And also one other thing that is so important with the jobs and has to be found out, illegal guns, or excuse me, with crime as well, illegal guns must be gotten off the street, and empowering the police to be able to stop people that are on parole, I think are important, in really bringing the police to the full fruition of helping and being part of stopping crime. So we can enjoy the opportunities as citizens and live in freedom and decency. Thank you.
I think it's time for me to ask a question. I'd like to pose this question to you, and that is, Al Gore recently won the Nobel Prize for his work on climate change. I know that a lot of organizations in this city work together on their local plan. Do you plan on enacting those recommendations, and is there anything that you would do to go beyond those recommendations to make sure that we reduce greenhouse gases?
Flavia, which recommendations are we talking about?
A lot of the different organizations in the city came together to do, I think it was called the climate change recommendations on climate change.
Are we talking about the Clinton Climate Control Initiative?
No, we're talking about the local initiative that happened here where 7 groups came together and wrote out recommendations in the Next Great City and other people like that.
Okay, sorry. I mean, I think that the local effort is certainly very important, and of course we should commend Vice President Gore for staying the course, and when you truly believe in an issue, regardless of what others may say, I think Vice President Gore has demonstrated that if you have a commitment and you don't get sidetracked and distracted by people who are criticizing you and make that kind of commitment to an issue, you can actually raise awareness. And I think a lot more people are talking about, of course, global warming these days than maybe 10, 15 years ago when they thought he was just a guy out in the wilderness. With regard to those groups, as well as the Clinton Climate Initiatives and the Kyoto Protocols, I think the city of Philadelphia can play a significant role in doing our fair share. If every city did its part, encourage these groups and organizations, but also by our actions as a city government, we can do our share to reduce greenhouse gases, improve the environment here in Philadelphia, lessen the emissions in our city, promote whether it's walking activity or cycling, put the filters on the diesel buses and other vehicles in Philadelphia. There are so many things that we can do, and whether it's working with the 7 groups and many others throughout this city, you will find, I think by my actions and by my record, that I will be a tremendous supporter of making Philadelphia what it should be, which is the city with cleaner air and the #1 green city in the United States of America.
Oh. And I'll leave it up to you guys to get them both the city's local action plan, and you can hammer them on whether they're going to follow those particular recommendations.
I'm sure they will.
We're going to ask for the next video question, please, which will be directed to.
Okay.
As mayor, what we do to address various vacant lots in neighborhoods like mine. To me, these lots seem right for constructing a new plan. Do you have one?
Vacant lots don't do any neighborhood any good. They sit there, they could be of great potential. Something must be done with them immediately. Now, there are some problems as it goes as far as actually ownership sometimes. There are some state laws and rules and regulations, but wherever possible, I would immediately deed them over to the local civic association or CDC to put a great use. And that would be very, very much on the forefront. But what you could do in between, and this comes from my agronomic background. I have a Bachelor of Science degree from agronomy, College of Agriculture, Penn State University, class of 1975. Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. But the fact is, also a land-grant school, but not to be used against Michael Nuller. A land-grant school, for your information, is one that is dedicated to agriculture and has gotten dollars and support from the federal government to study agriculture in a particular state. Ours in Pennsylvania is the Penn State University. What you could do quickly, though, is green it up as far as planting ryegrass and various lawns, some shrubbery, and something that isn't all that expensive. But the fact is, it would be green. There would be something growing on it, unless, of course, the local community wanted to plant a garden. That would be fine, too. Growing vegetables in our own community is something that involves children. It empowers adults and children, and it shows children what you plant later and is what you'll receive later in harvest and how you take care of it. It's really a great learning experience. The rule of the farm. Sowing the seeds is what you will reap later. So a lot of things can be done with vacant properties. I would move aggressively to remove them. Ownership, again, that might have to be discussed, but the fact is, if they're vacant, let's make use of them and let's beautify the area.
We're going to have the next video question, and this question will be directed to both the candidates.
Hello, I'm Leanne Kruger-Radke, Executive Director of the Sustainable Business Network of Greater Philadelphia.
Hi, my name is Rory Mandy. I am the membership coordinator for the Sustainable Business Network of Philadelphia.
SBN is a network of 350 businesses throughout the Philadelphia region, and our mission is to help local independent businesses thrive while they build an economy that values people, planet, and prosperity for all. My question for the next mayor is, how do you make Philadelphia an attractive place for the new green economy, making it a place where sustainable businesses can get started, grow, and move?
My question for the next mayor is, given that most new jobs are created by small business, what are your plans to help foster small local business growth in the Philadelphia area?
Okay, now you guys might focus more than me, but I think I might split that up a little bit. That was a lot, but I think what those two questions were getting at was the connection between the environment being green and quality of life and the economy. So maybe address what the priority of your administration will be in terms of green and how that relates to your other priorities.
Okay. Can I answer the other
Absolutely.
question?
It was like 3 questions, though, so I want to make sure you
I
answer
understand.
all of them, because these are voters who want to hear from you guys.
I got you. I think I can handle 2 questions in a row. With regard to sustainable environment and the Sustainable Business Network, one, they provide, I think, an invaluable service to many businesses across Philadelphia. And the fact of the matter is that, one, we know that the overwhelming majority of businesses in Philadelphia are small businesses, and I think that sustainable business activity, environmental companies in this city provide us with a new sector that we should jump on immediately. Entrepreneur activity, our city's Commerce Department and sorry about the acronyms, Philadelphia Industrial Development Corporation and our other economic development agencies should be encouraging those in that respective business sector to come to Philadelphia. We should welcome them with open arms, and much like we attracted new business development in the hospitality industry, we have demonstrated in the past that if we want to go after a particular business sector, we are more than capable as a government to do it. It also provides new job opportunities. There was a question earlier, it wasn't my question, but on the issue of crime. If we want to reduce crime in Philadelphia, one of the ways we have to do that is by providing new job opportunities, especially to people in the ex-offender population. These are new skills, new opportunities, new strategies, and there cannot be any legitimate crime reduction program that does not involve dealing with the ex-offender population. With regard to the overall business climate in Philadelphia, when I was a member of Philadelphia City Council, of course, I worked to reduce the wage tax. We presently have